tonight, the headline fight is huge. It's got international implications.
Yeah, this fight wouldn't look out of place on any card anywhere in the world. Gunnar Nelson is the coming man in MMA. You know, he's black belt under Renzo Gracie. He's a phenom. He's only 22 years of age. This is a guy who's really, really on his way to the top. But Danny Mitchell will be looking to stop that.
Danny Mitchell has 8 wins, only just lost on his last fight. He'll be out to try and exact, well, some revenge for his previous loss, but he's up against it, isn't he?
He's really up against it, but you know, he's no slouch on the ground. That's where Gunnar Nelson is going to want to bring it. Danny Mitchell's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu himself. He's up against the, you know, people are calling this guy the phenom, the new BJ Penn, other such words being about. He's had fights against the grappling luminaries such as Jeff Monson. He's done well and performed well in the ADCC. You know, Danny Mitchell's going to be wanting to put a dent in that.
He certainly is. Well, yes, in fact, Gunnar Nelson's beaten Jeff Monson, and he trains with people like BJ Penn. That's our main...
This is our main event of the evening. This is the International Welterweight Super Fight, fought under 77 kilos. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner. Let's hear it for Gunnar Nelson.
Well, here it is, Barry. We have waited for this fight, and it's now finally arrived.
I'm just so excited to see Gunnar Nelson back in action again. We're talking about a top-of-the-tree grappler, not just in Europe, but in the world. ADCC competitor, for those people that are watching at home, don't know what ADCC is. It is the top no-gi grappling competition in the world. He beat Jeff Monson there. He went to the absolute semi-final there. This is an absolute monster on the ground.
He absolutely is, and he started his life as a karate expert, switched to jiu-jitsu for the love of the sport. He's only 22 years old. He's unbeaten in his professional career, and many are tipping him for massive things in the future.
You know, and with good reason. Renzo Gracie, jiu-jitsu black belt. You know, fantastic MMA record. This guy is absolutely the best fighter.
His
well, for me, from my money, one of the best fighters
right
in Europe at the moment.
Let's hear it for Danny Mitchell.
But he may not have things all his own way. Danny Turbo Time Mitchell is absolutely no slouch. He's from Yorkshire. He'll have a bit of a crowd here tonight. He is coming off his first loss, but also as a brown belt in BJJ.
Yeah, we're not talking about some novice on the ground here. You know, Gunnar Nelson might be top of the tree in terms of the grappling, but Danny Mitchell, he won't be afraid of that ground game.
And of course, Danny Mitchell has very, very good hands. He's a 2-time Total Combat British champion and a 2-time prize fighter champion as well.
Yeah, strong boxing background. I think this will tell you all you need to know. They're looking at their records. It'll tell you all you need to know about which game plan these fighters are going to have.
Yes, Danny will be wanting to blast him on the feet. Undoubtedly, Gunnar Nelson will be wanting to take him down and submit him at will. Danny Mitchell, also known as the Cheesecake Assassin. When he has a victory, he likes to enjoy a cheesecake. Will he be enjoying one tonight?
Look how relaxed Gunnar Nelson is.
Oh, he is so cool. He's from Iceland, and he is like the Iceman.
He just seems to be so relaxed. He's just standing there, hands by his side. Total contrast to some of the stare downs we saw earlier. Almost respectful silence around the arena.
This is the big one. This is the one they've been talking about. They touch gloves, and they're on.
You know, Gunnar Nelson, whenever I see him fight, it's almost that like old Gracie challenge style stance, you know, those hands out, that real jiu-jitsu style.
Yeah, they really are. Very loose, very relaxed.
But, you know, no slouch standing up either, you know. Gunnar, you know, his ground is his strength, but, you know, if he needs to throw, he can throw. Looking for the leg.
And there he
looking for the
shoots
clinch.
in. Oh, and
Good
straight
takedown.
takedown.
Head pressure in on the jaw here now. Deep underhook on this side. Past the half guard.
Well, this is your world, Barry, but it's also Gunnar's.
But he's got to try and pull him away from the cage here and try and flatten him out. Referee telling him to keep his fingers out of the cage. He's got this good side control position. Just keeping his shin up on the Danny's half guard leg.
Oh, and look at
Passes
Nelson, though,
into mount.
transitioning almost into mount. And, in fact, he's got it. That little,
That was a beautiful little transition there.
and then just flattening out Mitchell.
Steps in, perfect base. You know, one of the things about Gunnar Nelson is he doesn't do the fancy things. We spoke about Altrincham before. You know, doing those fancy leg locks and looking for those long and strong arm bars. And, you know,
Oh,
Gunnar
Mitchell's
Nelson
done well there to,
yeah, he scrambled out. He's done a good job.
yeah, to
But
get...
Gunnar Nelson does everything just so simply. Look at this, head down, passing, knee in the middle, just pressure all the time. Nothing flamboyant about him, just does that job, does it well.
Yeah.
Danny Mitchell doing a good job of controlling right now. Short elbow by
Mitchell
Gunnar.
trying to fight off his back and scrambling well.
Doing a good job.
Pushing
Coming back
Nelson
to guard.
off. Nelson just throws the legs out of the way. Almost got his back. But uses his hips well there, Mitchell. And definitely landing strikes from the bottom.
Nelson just scrambling
There's a
back
bit
to
of blood
top
has
position.
actually coming now. I think it's from Nelson.
I'm not sure how that came about. I'm not sure that's not a scratch as opposed to a cut. I think maybe that was more of a scratch off the gloves or off.
Was it an
I
ear?
beg your pardon. It's from the elbow. It's on Danny
Yes,
Mitchell, and it's
definitely
right in his
Danny
eyes.
Mitchell. It is, yeah.
Nelson takes the back.
Oh,
Good work by
Nelson trying
Gunnar
to
Nelson into the
get a
body triangle.
which he's got. Now trying to flatten out Mitchell, looking for the choke.
Good
Flips
work
him
by Gunnar
over,
Nelson. Danny Mitchell now has to really defend in this position.
trying to sink
Choke
it in.
on,
It looks
really
good.
deep.
Mitchell trying to fight out, but it's hard to get out of that.
Look, the choke looks deep. It's over.
And it's over. Gunnar Nelson, masterclass.
Superb, excellent grappling display there by Gunnar Nelson. That's just a masterclass in
Ladies
just
and
posture,
gentlemen,
balance, and
we
pressure.
have our winner.
Superb job by Gunnar Nelson.
Let's have a round of applause for both fighters. Come on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 54 seconds of round one, your winner due to tap out by rear naked choke from the blue corner, Gunnar Nelson. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Danny Mitchell.
Gunny, can we just bring you in here? How do you feel about winning that tonight?
I feel good. Nothing else to say about that.
Did it go exactly how you wanted it to?
I didn't really expect anything special, but yeah, I could see it go this way, so.
When you took his back, was it always going to be finished?
No, you can get the back and you can lose it. Danny's got a good jiu-jitsu, I know, so he could have gotten out, but it went my way this time.